reconvene our regular scheduled board meeting. It is 7:05. Wow, look at all these people, Doc. They came to see me. Is that like there's something special going on tonight? I don't understand this, but anyway, I tell you what, before we get started, what I'd like to do is welcome the Atascocita High School Marines Junior ROTC to present the colors. If you would all please rise.
Forward. Mark. Colors. Walk. Right. Turn. Mark. Color. Walk. Reset. Colors. Colors. Ready, cut. Ready, step. Ready, face. Pose. Ready, face. Ready, face. Pose. Ready, face. Ready, step. Up, out. Face. Right, turn. Arch. Forward, arch.
If I get you to remain standing for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. You may be seated. Dr. Sconzo, commendations and recognitions.
We do have some tonight, trustees. We're very pleased to present them to you. But before we do, we'll start tonight as we do all of our regular board meetings, and that's with this month's inspiring moment. Since we have such a large audience, I just want to be sure that everyone is aware that Humble ISD is the best large school district in Texas.
It's been a secret.
That's right. And one very reason that we are, among many reasons, is the very generous support that our schools and our children receive from our business community. We have, frankly, incredible business partners. Actually, during commendations, you'll meet a couple of them, but one we're spotlighting tonight in our inspiring moment has to do with a first-time program that we've experienced in our district at one of our high schools, and I'm hopeful that it will spread to all of our high schools. It's sponsored by Memorial Hermann Hospital System. And so, Jonathan, if you would roll the video.
Memorial Hermann found a need for education in the community because TxDOT which is the Texas Department of Transportation. Statistics year after year after year show that our district, which encompasses 6 counties, is the worst in the state for fatalities for teens.
We're finding out that there's been an increase in distracted driving, such as texting while you're driving, eating while you're driving, talking to somebody in the back seat or a passenger.
It's shocking how widespread the issue is just in our area, and there hasn't been a big push for education.
We had 583 fatalities in 2014 just in the surrounding counties: Montgomery, Waller, Harris.
So Memorial Hermann decided that we needed to get out into the community. So the community will come together, the community partners will come together to engage the students during the awareness events of the Live Your Dreams program.
The kids thought it was really powerful to see the wrecked vehicles.
It was like very touching and very sad. It's hard to really explain.
A lot of the kids got emotional. They got teary. They walked away and they're like, "Oh, that was rough, Miss Mosley. It was really rough to see that dad talk about his daughter and to see the pictures and to see the vehicles."
It's different seeing it on the news. It's different seeing it or hearing about it maybe in a local newspaper and having it be within 5 feet of you, being able to touch it. Knowing that within that vehicle, someone that was loved died. Having her father host it and talk about her death in the car, which we could see, which we could touch, it was tangible. These things actually happen. These people actually have others that love them. They have families. And it gives you a sense of responsibility.
We are hoping to change behavior, bottom line, and we're hoping to engage the teens with this education and awareness of the issues.
It's a great event to do. It really gives you new insight.
Because you do see how a lot of people, just from one simple text, can just die. They were able to do games and do the pedal carts and talk to real people.
When the teens interact with the different community partners, they can get the messages several different ways and hopefully retain that.
We're teaching the kids without being able to cause a lot of damage or cause a lot of injuries as far as these little carts. They only go 2 or 3 miles an hour. They're actually bicycles just with 4 wheels.
The drunk driving goggles kind of helped steer me away from getting drunk because of the feeling it gave me. It made me dizzy, made me lightheaded. It wasn't fun.
Yeah, most of the kids are just surprised. They usually feel that, man, I feel a little goofy. I can't get my bearings. And that's actually, even if they don't drink and they decide to drink, they'll realize that they can make that correlation.
That's an opportunity for our staff to discuss the behaviors. Well, would you get behind the wheel if you were impaired? And if not, what would you do? Would you call your mom? Would you call a friend? Would you call a neighbor that you can trust?
The rollover demonstration, it sort of really made me want to wear my seatbelt more often, which admittedly I used to not do that much, especially when I would be sitting in the back seat of my mom's van.
When I saw the dummy spinning around, just flopping all over the place, I thought to myself, I do not want to be in that position.
The Live Your Dreams program encompasses education and awareness throughout the different tiers, but our ultimate goal is to prevent injuries and fatalities.
Utilizing community resources and pairing up with all these resources that are out there, we can get these kids involved and hands-on, and these huge events are just out there waiting to be utilized, and any school can do it, and it was no cost to us, and the kids just are so much more engaged when they have this many activities and this many people to talk to. And my takeaway was that, as a district, if we can utilize these community members more and involve them in our education, that it benefits everyone.
It's been great to work with Humboldt ISD. It really has. And we really hope that we can bring our program to all of the high schools in the district.
Well, I really want to thank Memorial Hermann for providing that for us. hopefully, with that information, with those experiences, all of our students will get to live their dreams. And so I want to recognize and thank in person, ask you all to please join me in doing so, from Memorial Hermann Hospital System, Sarah Beth Abbott. Sarah, thank you. And Sarah, not to put you on the spot, but we'll look forward to all of the high schools next year. Okay. Awesome, awesome. Mr. President, I'll turn to you for this month's Stellar Standouts.
Sure, Dr. Sconjo. Before I do that, I also want to extend a big thank you to my colleague to the left, Mr. Heath Rushing. Most of you know he is CEO of Memorial Hermann's Northeast Campus, and not only gives of his time and effort as a school board trustee and as a dad in the community, but he really supports the school district and the community with his staff, with his employees, and their volunteerism really sets the stage for a lot of companies in our community. So Heath, I just want to thank you personally for what y'all do as an organization. All right, so for our Stellar Standouts tonight, this month's Stellar Standouts features the Lakeshore Student Council, who was named the National Student Council of Excellence, and a Green Tree Elementary student who is #1 in the state and first in the math program. I think that's the second year in a row we've had the #1 person and first in math. Tascasita Middle School Technology Student Association team earned second place overall at state competition, plus many students received individual awards in technology. Tascasita High School Latin Club placed first at region and third at the state competition. Kingwood Park High School Girls Golf Team, second consecutive year as state champions. And I don't have their scores on here, but I think they pretty much, if you think about a track meet and you're running the mile, they finished and everyone was still on the second lap, basically. I mean, they just blew the doors off of it. Also proud to tell you that 11 students were named to the National Merit Finalist list from AHS, KHS, and K Park High Schools. Stellar Standouts is a way to recognize our students on a monthly basis and are archived on the district homepage for this month as well as all previous months.
Mr. President, now I'll ask if you will join me out front. I'm going to ask Jerry Monbaron to first come to the podium. She has some commendations to present to the board, and then she will be followed by Trey Kramer.
Okay, so first we're going to do super staffer announcements. So each month, just as a reminder, campuses and departments select an individual to be honored as a super staffer for their outstanding work in advancing student achievement. A drawing is held, and 3 honorees receive additional recognition at the school board meeting, including a $200 gift card to Papa's Restaurants, thanks to an award sponsor. The sponsor for this month's Super Staffer Awards is the Groves, a development from Crescent Communities, and I would like to invite Nicole Zimmerman, project manager for the Groves, to join me in announcing the Super Staffers. Thank you. So being honored as our elementary super staffer tonight is Vandy Schimmels from Atascocita Elementary School. Vandy, you can come on up. Principal Kathy Sheely will join us up here too. Vandy is a 5th grade math and science teacher. Vandy, and this is what was said about Vandy with her nomination. Vandy lives and breathes teaching. She works tirelessly to make sure her students succeed, and she is always on the job. As a teammate, she has been a huge support to keeping us floating well. She cares deeply for her students and their success. She works well beyond her hours each day and works with students to ensure their learning. She is so thoughtful and thorough with her lessons and knows her students' strengths and weaknesses. Without her leadership on the team, 5th grade would not have been #2 in the district on the Math Star. She is a rock star. Congratulations. Being honored as a secondary super staffer tonight is Tina Ewing. Tina, come on up. And her principal, Tammy Alexander, is going to join us. Tina is a teacher at the Community Learning Center. And this is what was written about Ms. Ewing. She does an amazing job in supporting the PACE students through the marketing program and preparing them for the workforce and assisting them in maintaining their employment. She also has been a great example of leadership for her student advisory group. She recognizes the individuality of her students and is able to get them to work as a cohesive group. Congratulations. Being honored tonight as our support super staffer is Daryl Denton. Daryl, come on up. Here we go. Thank you. Kenny Kendrick, the Director of Maintenance Operations, is going to come on up. And Daryl is an electrician in our in our district, and this is what was said about Daryl. He is an exceptional electrician. He goes above and beyond making sure to take care of all campuses. He is a shining light in the district, and he is a pleasant presence. He has worked on many projects in the district and brings advanced knowledge of lighting and sound. This makes him an asset to the maintenance department by closing the gap towards excellence.
Dandy and Tina have to come back.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you join me in saying thank you to the Groves for sponsoring tonight? And on to our second set of accommodations. Tonight, Humble ISD is recognizing 2 community partners for their ongoing support of making Humble ISD great. And we are pleased to announce that the generosity these partners have shown is now recognized at the state level through the Texas Association of School Boards Stand Up for Public Schools program. Both of these partners have been standing up for public schools long before this TASB program began, but tonight we want to honor them with this recognition packet. So now that we have our Robert Sitton and Dr. Sconzo, would Chuck Kramer of Planet Forward come up and join us? So while he stands here, let me brag on Planet Forward a little bit. Planet Forward has been a long-standing supporter of both Humble ISD and the Education Foundation. They're a major sponsor of several of the Foundation's special events, which provides funding to support innovative education grants in classrooms across the district. In addition, Planet Forward demonstrates their commitment to teachers by awarding the District Teacher of the Year a brand new Ford vehicle for the past 3 years. As Dr. Sconzo says, not even the National Teacher of the Year gets a new new vehicle. So thank you very much. And you can sit down, but I just have a little more that I'm going to read about you, Chuck. So the team at Planet Forward also has a special place in their heart for special needs students. In 2014, Planet Forward sent 49 students from the Best Buddies program to the Disney World in Orlando. This trip came at a cost of $157,000, but the value of the memories made by those students are priceless. Chuck's team made those kids feel like rock stars. They provided each student a unique care package upon their arrival, and then they gave them private dinners with Disney World characters while they were there. This past December, the district's Mosaic program was the recipient of the dealership's generosity when Planet Forward paid off the lease on a specially designed Ford Expedition. The Mosaic program serves students between the ages of 18 through 22, addressing life skills needed for post-secondary world. And this project began in September 2013 when Randall Reed at Planet Forward saw a need and immediately acted on it. So Planet Forward then provided a 2-year lease on the vehicle. After 2 years and upon learning how important this vehicle is to those students, it took Chuck Kramer about 1 second to commit to paying off that lease so that the vehicle could remain with the Mosaic students. Thank you. We have one more recognition tonight. So, Mr. Heath Rushing, can you take off your school board hat for a second and put on your CEO of Memorial Herman Northeast hat and come down here and join us? So as he's coming forward, let me tell you about Memorial Herman Northeast if you didn't already know. They are another committed partner in our community. that generously sponsors the foundation's special events. It was through their help the foundation was able to award over $295,000 in education grants. They not only accept student interns from the district's health science classes, but they have also donated several significant pieces of equipment to the health science class at the Kate Center so that our students are trained on devices and equipment that prepare them for a future in the medical field. This year, more than 4,000 student athletes from 3 school districts, including Humble ISD, received athletic physicals from the team at Memorial Hermann. And although they just finished their physicals, so they're still tallying up the numbers, last year that also included over 1,500 ninth grade student athletes were also administered EKG screenings. In addition, as we saw tonight, Memorial Hermann sponsored the Live Your Dreams project, and we all saw the impact that had on our students. So in closing, Humble ISD's partnership with Memorial Hermann Northeast has yielded creative and exciting opportunities for our students as they advance their learning. So please join me in thanking Memorial Hermann Northeast for their service to Humble ISD.
It's always great when we have the opportunity to recognize students, and so it's my pleasure to recognize several students tonight. The Rotary Club of Humble partnered with Humble ISD to create the Leader of Tomorrow program. A student was selected from each of the high schools for exemplifying the following qualities: leadership skills, academic success, service, and civic mindedness. Each student was invited to attend a Rotary meeting where they were honored and invited to speak to the Rotarians. I can tell you the Rotarians were impressed with these students. We want to honor them tonight for being selected from a multitude of qualified students. We are truly proud of you. I'd like to ask Dr. Bonnie Lanyon, a Rotarian, to come up and join us up front with Dr. Sconzo and Mr. Sitton. Joshua Jordan, Humble High School. Parents, if you are here and you want to take pictures, you can come on up. So if you have anybody here with you, it's okay. Come on up. You just take that picture. Go right on up. Right over there. Josh. Next, we have Cheyenne Jones, Kingwood Park High School. Next, we have Thomas McGuffey, Kingwood High School. Next, we have Zachary Tice at Atascocita High School. Parent pictures are important. We have one other student, but they could not be here tonight, but I do want to recognize Sir Curry Robinson from Summer Creek High School, could not be in attendance tonight, so we'll take a group photo. Thank you guys very much. We're very proud of you. I have 2 additional students that we also want to recognize tonight. The first is Adonai Pause. Adonai, come on up, please. Miss Ginger Noyes is her building principal at Early College High School. Ginger, come on up. Let me tell you the reason why we're recognizing Adonai tonight. She's a senior at Quest Early College High School. She was selected as one of 350 Dell Scholars by the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation. That's nationwide out of 350 students. She was one of them. Each Dell Scholar receives $20,000 in scholarships, a laptop, and access to dedicated Dell Scholar team. And on top of this, she is the valedictorian at Quest High School. I have another student that I want to recognize. Morgan Holshoe, will you please come forward? Ms. Noyes, just stay up there also. While Morgan's coming up, I need you to listen to this statistic. She's another senior at Quest Early College High School. She's had perfect attendance from kindergarten to 12th grade. I am not a mathematician, but I'm guessing around 2,300 days of school without missing a single day. Thank you, guys. I do have one other person we want to recognize, not a student, but it's an adult. We can recognize adults too. I'd like for Miss Kim Mauser of Quest Early College to come forward, please. Miss Mauser, come forward. She didn't know she was coming forward. That's why she's looking at me like this. Because of Kim's hard work, Quest Early College High School was named one of the first 13 early college high school demonstration sites in Texas. Early college high schools from all over the state of Texas will visit Quest to study best practices and to grow professionally. Students all over the state will be directly impacted through Kim's effort. So thank you very much for taking the time to do that. It's truly an honor for Quest Early College and Humble ISD. Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to the point of questions and comments from patrons or employees of the district regarding agenda items or other matters. At this time, I would like, there's a group of students here from Quest Early College, Savannah Smith, Morgan Holshoe, Andrew Austin. I just heard y'all say this a second ago. Adanya Pye. That's probably close enough. And then Kyle Richardson.
Thank you. My name is Kyle Richardson. I am a senior at Quest Early College High School. And thanks to Humble ISD funding, I will be able to go to Morehouse College in Atlanta. I really like to thank you for the support, especially the funding, because without Humble ISD and without the Quest program, I don't think I would be able to even think about going to Morehouse because of the tuition. Just with the 2 years of education that I got at Quest, I've saved approximately over $90,000. So I would really like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without Humble ISD, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Savannah Smith. I am also a senior at Quest Early College High School. I recently graduated from Lone Star College with 62 college hours. I want to thank everyone up here, all the lovely people, for your contribution to my current and my future success. Quest has been such a big part of my life, and I just want to thank you guys for the utmost support and the things that you do for our school. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Adonai, and I'm a senior at Quest. I will be graduating in 2 days. I want to thank the superintendent and the board for allowing Quest to have not only college hours, but as well community service, because that's something that scholarships and schools really do prioritize. So thank you for that and for your support.
Hi, I'm Morgan Holshoe, and I'd like to thank Humble ISD for supporting Quest Early College. Quest has been such a blessing for me because I've been able to get 60 college credit hours and my associate's degree, and it's been amazing. And I'm just so blessed to have attended Quest and for the district, who has helped so much in supporting our program. And this fall, I will be attending Sam Houston State University and majoring in education, which is something that I've always wanted to do. So I'm very blessed and very thankful for all of you who have supported Quest and me.
Hello, my name is Andrew Austin. Thanks to you, I have 54 college hours and attending at A&M at Galveston. Quest has done a lot in bringing out the best of me and making my dreams a reality. It has given me college classes that will advance me farther than any other high school student, and has also given me the opportunity for experience that will prepare me for college and beyond. As a thanks from all the other seniors that can share many stories similar to ours, please accept these on behalf of them as a thank you.
That is why we do what we do. That was awesome. One more round of applause for those kids. Now we have one more, Kendra Hefner with the Humble ISD Golf Classic.
Yes. If I could ask the coaches to join me up front as I'm making my comments. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you guys today. My name is Kendra Hefner, and I chaired the Humble ISD Golf Classic this last year. I had that honor. And as we all know, golf is not an inexpensive sport. So there was a fundraiser started to help offset the cost and allow more players to experience this sport. A sport that instills honor, discipline, and integrity in its athletes. The tournament was held this past February for the golf program of 4 high schools. And tonight I'm honored to be joined by a player from each of these schools. If the players could stand up and join me briefly. Atascocita has Kendall Schindler and Keenan Potter. You guys will come forward. Kingwood has Haley Hefner and Blake Cawthorn. Kingwood Park has Ariana Sands and Zane Hamilton. And Summer Creek has John Carr and Sean Bush. They'd like to give each of you a token of our appreciation for your support of the district. If you guys could let the school board members have a couple of golf balls in case you play.
Good to see you. So have you close.
Got to stay there. We are so fortunate to have great parents, students, and coaches for each of these schools working hard all year long to make this event happen. And none of these coaches here are part of the reason that these kids participate, and they love the encouragement and the discipline that they instill in these kids. And I'm pleased to report that the 7th Annual ISD Classic was a great success. It was held on all 4 courses of Kingwood Country Club. Over 50 volunteers and over 520 players all in one day, which was a task in itself. And so tonight we're here to present you a check for this effort in the amount of $65,000. Sconzo, and yeah. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. We appreciate it.
And it won't take him long to lose that sleeve of golf.
Everybody turn sideways. Squeeze. Thank you so much for all you do for the district.
All right, now we get to comments from individual board members. I'll start to my right, Ms. Nancy Morrison.
Okay, I just want to say, Mr. President, the reason why we're the best school district, the largest school district, is just what we owe our students. So I'll pass now.
I'm going to reserve my comments till a little later. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Cunningham.
Same as Mr. Engelard.
Mr. Lopez.
Same.
Over to Mr. Rushing.
Same.
Last but not least, Ms. Conrad.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do have a few words. Sorry, y'all. I just want to take a minute because we honored them last week at our dinner, but just want to say congratulations to all our retirees and those that were awarded service pins last week. So it was a really special dinner. I know there will be several faces that we'll missing on our campuses, but we appreciate the years of service that they provided to our students. Two particular retirees here at this table. And so if you don't have your tickets already, we do have a special retirement party planned on June 3rd. As part of our Education Foundation has a committee dedicated to planning that. So if you don't have tickets for that, join in that celebration. Please get online and get your tickets and your reservations because we'd love to have you there as part of that celebration. I do want to also congratulate our graduates, those that are present as well as those that are not tonight, but we'll see you all on Saturday. Great accomplishments. My cheeks are hurting from all the smiling, and it's just amazing everything that's been awarded. I've heard finalists and winners and scholarships and top 10 and just so many amazing accomplishments, and we couldn't be more proud. But I was really especially proud when the students were here just now and said that we contributed to that success. And I'm going to have to tell myself that when we get our next 300-page agenda, and I'm reading through that somehow this is contributing to their success. So I'll try to remember that. And one final thing to Texan Live, I just want to thank you again for being here and streaming our board meetings and also providing that live stream of our graduation ceremonies this Saturday. So thank you, Texan Live.
Quite a bit to talk about later, but I do want to make sure I recognize two distinguished guests in the audience. We have, or actually three. We have Humble City Council Member Norman Funderburk. We have the CEO of the Lake Houston Area Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Jenna Armstrong. And last but certainly not least, the Honorable, our state representative, Mr. Dan Huberty, in the back of the room. We also have former trustee, Ms. Bonnie Longyan, in the audience. And I hope I didn't forget anyone. I'm looking around the room. Okay, if I'm in trouble, I'm sure I'll hear about it when I get home. So, Dr. Sconzo, any comments from the administration?
I do, President Sitton. I actually have one report. Before I do that, though, I do want to say I could not be more proud of all of our students. They're just amazing young people, and we're blessed to get to work with them. But I especially have to highlight one of the students this evening. I think you all are aware that school districts in the state of Texas get funded on the basis of average daily attendance. And Morgan, you are a superintendent's dream. Okay, now for the report. So, as if being the best large school district in Texas isn't enough, I could not be more proud that this is the second consecutive year that our transportation department has been named to the top 100 public transportation fleets in North America. So I want to recognize and ask to come forward to the podium Jeff Prow, our director. And Jeff is also joined tonight by Assistant Director Mark Swackhammer and Fleet Manager Ariel Rodriguez.
Thank you, board members and Dr. Scanzo, for the opportunity to make a couple comments. The journey to being named one of the best 100 fleets in North America began in 2014 when the board approved the hiring of 4 additional mechanics. This single item has had a tremendous impact on our ability to maintain the fleet and fulfill our mission of providing safe and punctual transportation for our students. In addition, the board has approved several bus purchases, camera replacements, and the addition of GPS. All of these have had a tremendous impact on our being named one of the best 100 fleets in North America. Last year, Omaha ISD Transportation was ranked number 91 on the best 100 fleets in North America. This year, Omaha ISD was ranked number 85. There were only 3 school districts in North America ranked in the top 100 in 2016. There are over 38,000 government fleets in North America that are eligible for this award. The award not only recognizes fleet maintenance, but encompasses a review and evaluation of the entire department. The award reviews areas such as technology, creativity, staff development, resource stewardship, accountability, and collaboration, to name a few. Ranking among the best in North America is a clear reflection of the hard work our entire transportation team working together to support our community and schools. Mr. Sitton and Dr. Scanzo, if you could come forward, Mark and Ariel, if you could come forward, we would like to present a banner to you to be displayed on the administration building next to the HEB banner. The banner commemorates 2015 and 2016 and has space for more.
Okay, let's go to our board action agenda. Mr. Rushing, do we have any motions from closed session?
Yes, Mr. President. As to the personnel, I move that the board approve the administration's personnel recommendations as presented.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? 7-0.
As to student placements, I move that the board approve the student placements and alternative education programs as presented by the superintendent.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? 7-0 as well.
As to the minutes, I move that the board approve the minutes for the regular board meeting held on April 12th, 2016.
Okay. Motion and a second. All those in favor? 7-0.
As to the minutes, I move that the board approve the minutes for the special board meeting and workshop held on April 26th, 2016.
Motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? 7-0 as well. All right, board associations and committees. Audit committee, Mr. Cunningham.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board members, you have April's audit report before you. If you have any questions, please see one of the audit committee members, Mr. Rushing, Mr. Ingalagi, myself, Mr. Chan. And we did not have our May audit committee meeting. Something was going on, we were too busy, I don't know what it was. We will have that meeting, I believe it's going to be June 7th. We'll have that meeting, and we've got some finishing up work before we do our program of work for next year. That is all I have, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Board and Superintendent Evaluation Process and Goals Committees?
Mr. President, I'm certain that all board members are up to speed on the work of this committee.
Okay. Building and Planning Committee, Mr. Ingalagi.
Yes, everyone should have received their summary from Dr. Brown. Thank you again for those. They're very informative, and I'm sure he can answer the questions that you have. Thank you.
Education Foundation, Ms. Conrad.
Yes, sir. On Friday the 13th, the Humboldt ISD Education Foundation made the day a very lucky day for many of our educators, as you may have seen. The foundation awarded $295,854 in innovative education grants to 39 campuses for 107 projects. Although the school year is not over yet, the foundation has awarded thus far for this school year over $1.18 million in grants that will impact all Humboldt ISD schools. And as of 2000, Humboldt ISD has received over $9 million from the foundation.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
awesome.
incredible. You can
see a listing of all the projects that were awarded at the foundation's website at humbleisdfoundation.org. And the foundation also wishes to thank all the donors, including the employee donors, for making the dreams of our educators a reality.
Thank you, ma'am. Finance Committee, Mr. Rushing.
I plan to touch base with Mr. Seal after this meeting to make sure that whole budget thing's still going as planned, and then we'll report back at the next meeting.
Kingwood Super Neighborhood Council, Ms. Morrison.
We met on May 18th, and the council discussed items such as mosquito control. And I know with our playgrounds and everything, with all the rain that we've had, we'll want to consider to make sure looking for standing water. Also, they discussed working with Montgomery County on the expansion, hopefully at some point in time with North Park. Detailed minutes will be coming to each member. Ms. Young will be passing them along to you. They will not meet in June and July and will come back up in August.
Okay. Legislative Committee, also Ms. Morrison.
Yes. I'm going to pass the mic to Ms. Conrad. She went to D.C. in April with the chamber, with the legislative group, so I'm going to pass it to her for an update.
I did, Mr. President. I was joined by Mr. Gunter and Ms. Atwood, and we tagged along the Lake Houston Area Chamber of Commerce DC fly-in trip that was part of that was scheduled for us back in April. We visited with several of our legislators, and we had a rehearsed agenda. I was very impressed with Mr. Gunter, who spoke on our behalf for our needs in education. The chamber actually surveyed all its members, and we determined those areas of priority that we wanted to discuss with our legislators. And so we had that time with them or their staffers while we were there. Also treated to a tour of the what did we tour? Of the Capitol building at night by Congressman Jack Fields. It was a real treat. If you have any questions on that, I think we've all had some discussion about some of the things, the issues that we talked about, but certainly Mr. Gunter, Ms. Atwood, or myself can fill you in.
I believe y'all even had some one-on-one time with Speaker Ryan. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, fantastic. Go Lake Houston Chamber and Humboldt ISD. How about that?
Great partnership.
Yes, ma'am. Program Committee, Mr. Lopez.
No report.
Technology and Data Governance Committee, Ms. Conrad.
No report there. We will meet on the first Tuesday of next month. Not sure what that date is. At that time, though, I'll be sending you some more information. We will have a demo of Board Docs. It's kind of the national version of that online agenda system. So if you're interested in seeing that demo, you'll have the details for that coming soon.
All right, perfect. Let's move on into our consent agenda then. Mr. Rushing, if you can help me out, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, under governance considerations, item A, proposed advocacy resolution to the Texas Association of School Boards for 2016 through 18 advocacy agenda. That is consent. There's no items under Superintendent's Division. Under Learning Division, instructional material allotment and TEACS certification. Consent. Under Financial Services Division, reports considerations. Item A, tax refunds. Consent. Item B, budgetary amendments. Consent. Under Human Resources, reports consideration. Item A, 2016-17 compensation plan. Consent. Under Support Services Division reports, item A, construction and construction-related purchases. Consent. Item B, general contractor selection for middle school number 9. Consent. District-wide reports, item A, goods, professional services, and non-construction services exceeding $50,000 in the aggregate or $25,000 individually. Consent. Under board consideration, item A, naming of loan finalists for the Office of Superintendent of Schools for Humboldt Independent School District. We're going to pull that one. All right, Mr. Rushing, if you could read that back to me in the form of a motion, please.
Mr. President, as to the consent agenda, I move that the board approve the following items by consent. Under governance, item A. Under learning division, item A. Under financial services division, items A and B. Under human resources, item A. Under support services division, items A and B. And under district-wide, item A.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? That is 7-0. Okay, under governance considerations, we have a couple of reports. Dr. Sconzo.
We have 2 policy changes that we're recommending to the board. They're just presented for information tonight. Happy to take any board feedback, input between now and the June 14th board meeting when we plan to bring these policy changes back to you for your consideration and action at that time.
Okay. Under Financial Services Division, we have our financial reports.
Yes, this is our monthly financial report. Nothing really to highlight there, but again, this evening, subsequent to this evening, happy to respond to any inquiries the board may have.
All right. Any questions on any of that? Perfect. All right, so last order of business under board considerations, I need a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. So I want to start this with some comments. You may remember back at our December board meeting, Dr. Guy Sconzo announced his retirement after 15 years with Humboldt ISD. We as a board can't thank him enough for what he has meant to this district and his help in the planning for his replacement, which began almost 3 years ago. Following his announcement in December, the board began the search and replacement process. We interviewed 3 search firms, the State Association, a local firm, and a national firm. We felt it was important to find the right firm to help us navigate through this process. The board chose the national firm of Hazard, Young, and Attia. Their national reach with local knowledge was very appealing. The 3 representatives assigned to Humboldt ISD's search were Rick Berry, retired superintendent from Cy-Fair ISD, Nola Wellman, retired superintendent from Eanes ISD, and Peter Flynn, former superintendent of the year in the state of Illinois. We would like to thank them for all their time and effort that they devoted to our search. The search team conducted 29 group and individual meetings in our community and had an additional 2,500 plus responses to an online survey. This information helped develop the leadership profile that we then used to attract, screen, and interview prospective candidates. That effort resulted in 43 applicants from 14 different states. Using the criteria of our leadership profile, 7 applicants were chosen for initial interviews by the entire board. The board then narrowed the field to 3 applicants. Those 3 applicants were then each interviewed over the course of an entire day. We had 3 exceptional candidates, but 1 stood above the others. So tonight we'd like to present to you our lone finalist. But before I do, Psych. I got the mic. Before I do, I want to open it up to my colleagues for them to say a few words about the process, about our candidate without mentioning names, and then we'll introduce our candidate. So, Ms. Morrison.
Wow, without mentioning names. all I have to say, being a relatively new board member, first of all, I want to thank all my other board members and Hazard Young and Atia for guiding us through this process. Some of the most outstanding candidates, outstanding. And the thing that stood out most about our candidate was children and children first. And it was extremely difficult, but I want to say this person stood out as an instructional leader and very nationally well known. So I feel very pleased. I'm very excited, and I can't say enough.
Mr. Engelage.
First, I'd like to say thank you to you, Mr. President. This has been a long process, and our president, Mr. Sitton, has done an amazing job. So thank you very, very much for what you've done. And it's been a thank you to all of you too. This is a great honor to be able to select this person, and being one of the 7 to vote on this person, I'm just honored to do it. I'll just give you one quick story. When I didn't go to our superintendent's state, the 3 others did. Those of us who stayed back, we called references, and I was on the phone with one of the references, and he was distraught in losing the superintendent. And he said, you know, you came to our state looking for a pot of gold, and you've hit the mother lode. He said, you have no idea what you have. This person is the best in the country. So that's sort of a taste of what you're going to see here shortly. So thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Cunningham.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will probably just kind of dovetail off of Ms. Morrison and say I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity of education in ISD. Excited about the past, excited about the present, but mostly excited about the future and the direction that we're going. And I was fortunate enough to visit this person, and all I can say is that I am excited. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Mr. Lopez.
You know, I've served on this board for a long time, and sometimes you focus in on this district and you kind of lose sight of what's going on outside of it. But what this process did for me is it shed some light on the reputation that Humble ISD has, not only statewide, but nationwide. The applicants that were attracted to us, that put their applications in and felt this lengthy application, were very, very impressive. Very impressive people indeed. And it made the decision very difficult for us to decide who our new superintendent is going to be. But through the process, using the criteria that was developed not only by the board, but this criteria was developed by the community meetings that Mr. Sitton talked about. Every single criterion is met by our selection and met by leaps and bounds. So I too am very excited about the choice that we've made, although no one's going to be able to replace Dr. Scanzo. The future of Humble ISD is very, very bright. The road that we are on with this selection is a road that I think is going to lead to much greater heights, because we've been traveling that direction. It's going to continue in these great heights that we're going towards. So that's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Mr. Rushing.
Yes, just to first comment on the selection of the consultant firm. I think we all felt that they were the right choice unanimously. But they came in here and worked their tails off and demonstrated why we selected them in the first place. And, so got to give them a ton of credit for coming up with the slate of candidates that they did. And the process that they laid out is one that I'm probably most proud of, is that it was very thorough, very detailed, and almost wouldn't allow us to make a bad decision, quite frankly. And so, first and foremost, huge thanks to Rick, Nolan, Peter, for guiding us. Echo the thoughts of Mr. Ingelagi about Robert Sinton leading this process for us. It was intense. It was an intense time and lots of discussion, lots of meetings, and it had to be facilitated to perfection, and it has been. So thank you, Robert, for that. Everyone on this board was very clear that with ourselves and with each other, that this is the single most important decision we're going to make as board members, and sort of our legacy will be left with this decision. And that's kind of a big deal. It's a lot of pressure, quite frankly, but it's been fun to be on that journey with these guys. Dr. Sconzo was the absolute right choice for this district 15 years ago, and this individual tonight is the absolute best choice for where this district is today and where we need to go into the future. Could not be more excited about the announcement tonight.
Ms. Conrad.
Well, not much else to add about the process and our candidate. I am also, as you know, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to be on the board and to be a part of this process, not knowing how difficult it would be, but having some idea, but having the guidance of the firm. Not only did they provide us with guidance, they also assisted our administration, especially our public information department, in keeping our public informed throughout the process. And I really appreciate how hard they worked throughout as well. The slate of candidates really met our expectations, but I definitely want to be sure and thank everyone that did contribute to creating that leadership profile, and I want you to know how closely we looked at that in our evaluation of each candidate. I also had the same experience as Mr. Ingelagi in calling these references. The references were just amazing to talk to as well. So I just confirmed everything I thought about our lone finalist, who I believe is a transformative leader, and I'm really excited about the future of Humble ISD.
Fantastic. So I need a motion to name the lone finalist for superintendent of schools. All right.
Second.
Okay, so we've got, just everybody did it, so just pick 2 people. How about that? We're excited. All those in favor? 7-0. I got chill bumps. Bringing 20 years of experience in education, including 8 as a superintendent of leading large school districts. Currently the superintendent of the 67,000 student Douglas County School District in Colorado. Also served as superintendent of the 56,000 student Tucson Unified School District in Arizona. In our opinion as a board, she is the best education mind in the country. This board is committed to taking Humble ISD from good to great. When people talk about education, we want them to say, you really need to go see what Humble ISD is doing. In our opinion, this is the leader to take us there. This candidate earned their doctoral and master's degrees from Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa, bachelor's degree from William Penn University in Oskaloosa, Iowa. Also examined teacher standards, teacher quality, and teacher effectiveness for their dissertation. The experience also includes being central office administrator over high schools, high school principal, biology and chemistry teacher, as well as tennis coach while in Iowa. Accompanying her tonight is her husband, Matt, her 2 children, Meredith and Olivia. It is my pleasure to announce the lone finalist for superintendent of schools, only the 5th one since 1942, Dr. Elizabeth Fagan.
Well, I assume the vote went well. Since I was out in the hall and holding my breath, so I'm assuming since you opened the door that it went well from there. Well, I just want to start by saying I am so honored by from going through the process with all of you that was so very thorough on behalf of the school district and community. Really gave me the opportunity to know you well, to get to know at a very high level the Humboldt ISD school district, and to really understand the opportunity, the excellent school district that would be a gift for my children, not only as an educator, but as a parent. That is the superintendent that I am. And so finding the exact right place for two little girls to be in school, and for their mom, who's a former teacher, high school principal, and former superintendent, to have the opportunity to lead a talented and wonderful organization. And so I'm honored, I am thankful, I'm grateful, I'm excited. Thank you so much for everything that you have done. And to Dr. Scanzo, you have been so incredibly kind and generous as we have gotten to connect electronically over the past week or so and being prepared for this. And I am committed to I think, as you mentioned, the smoothest and best transition of any school district leadership team. So thank you for everything that you've done, to Jamie for everything she has done. You have made this a very big challenge for a family. It seemed very natural and easy. So I have enjoyed getting to know all of you. I am excited to be part of this team, to lead this district, to work with this community, staff, students, parents, leaders, all of you. I'm just really excited about what we're going and what we can do together. So thank you.
As we conclude the meeting, when I strike the gavel, I'm going to ask Ms. Morrison to escort Liz and her family across, Dr. Fagan and her family across the hall. And we're going to have an informal meet and greet. Come through, say hi, get to know her. I tell you what, when you see what we see, you're going to be blown away. You're going to be blown away. With that said, our meeting is adjourned.